2 decades after the initial alien invasion in 1996, Earth enjoys a period of tranquility. Nations have forged alliances, culminating in the Earth Space Defense (ESD) program. Using recovered alien ship remnants, they've harnessed extraterrestrial technology to erect a defense system against potential alien threats. ESD operates from Area 51, maintaining bases on the Moon, Mars, and Rhea, a moon of Saturn. Unbeknownst to humanity, lurking extraterrestrial observers persist, haunting former President Whitmore in recurring nightmares. In the moon base, Jake and Charlie transport new components for the defense system, aiming to construct a colossal weapon. During assembly, an enigmatic malfunction occurs, causing the apparatus to tilt uncontrollably. Commander Zhang orders a retreat, but Jake defies the directive, employing his ship to steady the weapon. Despite risking a ship-wide ignition due to the activated fusion drive, Jake swiftly rectifies the device's position. Returning to base, he faces Zhang's reprimand, resulting in his indefinite suspension. Meanwhile, General Adams rushes to Area 51 in response to an urgent matter. The long-dormant captive aliens have awoken, agitated within their confines. With the ESD director unreachable, Adams confronts the situation. However, the director, David, is in Africa accompanied by Floyd, a government liaison. Their meeting with warlord Amutu and his rebel faction occurs amidst a landscape littered with alien remnants. Catherine, surprisingly familiar with the area, diffuses tensions by vouching for David. Having spent time studying the psychic connection between the aliens and On, she escorts David to the lone alien ship that landed 2 decades earlier. Learning about the decade-long resistance against emerging aliens, David and his companions uncover recent anomalies: the ship's self-ignition of lights and an immense cavity, indicating the aliens' abandoned attempt to drill to Earth's core, a venture halted by the destruction of the Mothership. During the initial conflict, the group ventures into the ship and discovers a distress signal emitted by the computer, a signal David identifies as a call answered from the moon. On the moon, Jake engages in a video call with his girlfriend Patricia, who happens to be Whitmore's daughter. Patricia shares news about the impending arrival of the International Legacy Squadron at the Lunar Bay, which includes Jake's past friend-turned-foe, Dylan. Remembering their previous altercation during a flight test, where Jake nearly caused harm to Dylan, Patricia urges Jake to be cordial and accept responsibility. When the squadron arrives, excitement fills the air, particularly for Dylan, stepson of war hero Steven. During a lunch gathering, Jake encounters Dylan and instead of extending an olive branch, provokes him, insinuating Dylan's interference. The altercation escalates into a physical confrontation, catching Zhang's attention. To shield Dylan, Jake falsely claims he tripped, shouldering the blame. Later, confiding in Charlie, Jake admits to crossing a line. Simultaneously, at Area 51's infirmary, Dr. Isaac reunites with her husband, Oken, the research director who slipped into a coma during the earlier conflict. To her astonishment, Oken awakens, oblivious to the passage of 2 decades, noticing the stark changes in Isaac's appearance. Meanwhile, Adams receives alarming news. The base on Rhea has been obliterated, prompting a red alert. In Africa, David is briefed about the crisis, yet Catherine remains fixated on decoding circular drawings prevalent in the surroundings. Yu leads them to his office, unveiling drawings derived from visions he experienced. He reveals deciphered fragments of the alien language. Back on the moon, panic ensues as a vortex forms in the atmosphere, revealing a wormhole from which a spherical machine resembling Yu's vision emerges. A distress transmission is dispatched to President Lanford and David, who discern that this sphere is indeed a spacecraft. Lanford advocates for a preemptive strike, but David emphasizes the dissimilar nature of the ship, hinting at potential differences in intentions between alien races. Despite this, the ESD board votes to launch an initial attack as Zhang engages the base's formidable weapon, successfully bringing down the sphere. However, David insists on retrieving it for study, leading to his departure to DC for political obligations, leaving him seething with anger. Meanwhile, Whitmore, watching the events unfold on TV, discerns that these aliens differ from the previous invaders. Worried, he considers warning the public, but Patricia urges him to trust the new president. Agreeing to retire for the night, Whitmore mysteriously disappears, troubling Patricia. Understanding David's plight, Jake takes matters into his own hands, clandestinely commandeering a ship and flying to Africa to rendezvous with David, Floyd, UTU, and Catherine. After navigating through remnants of the old Mothership, they locate the sphere, preparing to retrieve it. Amidst Earth's celebrations commemorating the prior war's victory, Whitmore interrupts Lanford's speech, attempting to forewarn the populace. However, he collapses, and in the hospital, Oken, in a trance-like state, draws formulas on the walls, experiencing the same distress. Back on the moon, a new alien mothership's arrival shocks onlookers as it approaches dangerously close. Charlie rushes to take control of a ship, rescuing Jake and David moments before imminent collision. Adams receives alerts and cancels celebrations, while Jake maneuvers the ship, allowing Charlie to secure the sphere with robotic arms. Their efforts are thwarted as the mothership deploys its gravitational force, pulling them in. Jang orders pilots and activates the giant weapon, but its failure prompts an evacuation order, leading to the mothership obliterating a large portion of the moon, including the base. ESD activates orbital defenses, futilely destroyed by the mothership, which subsequently collides with Earth, causing widespread destruction. Recognizing the ship's trajectory toward the North Atlantic Ocean, Jake navigates evasive maneuvers amid the chaos, while Lanford orders coastal city evacuations, some missing the urgent notice. Julius, David's father, spots the immense mothership approaching while sailing. He contacts David, emphasizing the ship's massive size, but is abruptly cut off when the mothership lands, causing Julius's vessel to collide with another. Elite pilots rush from the moon to aid in defense, yet Dylan, delayed, witnesses his mother helping a woman and a baby escape before heading to a hospital building. At Area 51, Whitmore, Patricia, and Adams convene as Oaken, having escaped his room, joins the meeting. The caged aliens exhibit frenzied behavior, which Oaken interprets as celebratory. Simultaneously, David and the group arrive. Whitmore clandestinely releases an alien to initiate communication, resulting in the alien seizing Whitmore to convey a message. She has arrived. Catherine displays the circular symbol to the alien, provoking its fury. As the alien threatens Whitmore, soldiers intervene, futilely shooting at the alien. UTU intervenes, breaching the armor to reveal a smaller, vulnerable alien inside, swiftly dispatched by UTU. Elsewhere, a group of siblings, orphaned by the chaos, discover Julius's wrecked boat with an unconscious survivor, Julius. They ensure his survival and take him along as they seek shelter amidst the wreckage. At Area 51, scanning the mothership enlightens David to "she is all," meaning a massive hive, and the recent arrival of their queen. Recalling the previous war's victory by destroying the mothership's queen, David suggests a similar strategy, rather than obliterating the more formidable ship. Lanford greenlights a mission to locate the queen. Pilots prepare drones to disable shields, followed by bombers equipped with cold fusion warheads to penetrate and eliminate the queen. As they approach, the mothership opens its defenses. Despite efforts to navigate and maintain a defensive stance, breaching the ship proves challenging. After losing bombers, Jake proposes entering the ship. Though risky, it's the sole viable option, earning Adams' authorization. Meanwhile, supporting units are ordered to provide backup. Upon entering, the pilots are stunned to discover an entire ecosystem inside. Whitmore regains consciousness, revealing to Patricia that the Queen anticipates their arrival. Patricia rushes to warn Adams of the trap, but her warning arrives too late. In a devastating turn, the Queen emits a disabling wave, causing the pilot's aircraft to plummet, releasing bombs in a last-ditch effort. Unfortunately, the blast fails to reach the Queen due to her shielded energy field. A subsequent massive wave cripples satellites, Area 51, and the President's bunker. Tragically, this attack claims the lives of everyone within, including President Lanford. Soon after, military leaders appoint Adams as the new president. Examining Oaken's drawings, Catherine and Yu decipher cryptic references to an intergalactic conflict and preventing an enemy's arrival on Earth. This revelation prompts Yu to realize that the sphere intends to ally with them against their common foes. Inside the mothership, survivors Jake, Dylan, and other pilots evade capture by hiding within the ship's ecosystem. Meanwhile, Oaken uses a specialized laser to open the capsule housing the sphere, attempting to scan it. Unexpectedly, Floyd's touch activates the sphere, which communicates in English, having acquired the language from Floyd's mind. Simultaneously, the Queen detects this activity and dons a massive suit of armor, preparing for another assault. The sphere explains that it intercepted a distress call from its species and arrived to warn humanity. However, humans attacked it without inquiry. The sphere represents the last survivor of its planet, holding crucial technological knowledge, guiding refugees to create weapons against the invaders. This revelation inadvertently allows the Queen to track the sphere. David devises a plan: conceal the authentic sphere in an isolation chamber, simulating its radiation signal with a decoy within a tug laden with cold fusion bombs. This ruse aims to lure the Queen into a trap. They lack a means to track the Queen until Adams reveals the presence of a radar truck from the prior war. Adams and David address the remaining pilots, explaining that since satellites are inactive, a manual pilot must sacrifice themselves to detonate the bombs, ensuring the mission's success. This solemn duty means the sacrificing pilot won't survive the mission. Patricia, determined to support her father, tries to volunteer, but Whitmore overrides her and bravely accepts the mission despite her objections. Meanwhile, Julius awakens and convinces the siblings to head to Area 51. Running low on fuel, they halt at a gas station and encounter an abandoned school bus. Taking charge, Julius gathers the children aboard and steers the bus toward Area 51, hoping for safety. Inside the alien ship, the pilots locate the alien hangar. Jake, aiming to distract the aliens, taunts and creates a commotion while his companions hijack the jets. The aliens react aggressively, firing shots. Swiftly taking off in the jets, the pilots evade the aliens' pursuit, executing daring maneuvers to escape. In a tense exchange, Jake apologizes to Dylan for their past conflict. Narrowly escaping, they reach the exit doors and flee before they shut. Amidst the chaos, Patricia, observing her father's departure, decides to fly alongside him to offer support. Simultaneously, Julius arrives with the children in the bus, just as the Queen and her army converge on the base. David takes the children to safety while the sphere is concealed in an isolation chamber, successfully luring the Queen into the trap. Whitmore, on the Queen's ship, triggers the bombs, initially appearing victorious. However, the Queen survives due to her energy shield, thwarting the base's weapon. David, joining Julius and the children, drives away on the bus while the Queen pursues them. Ground soldiers regroup to defend the sphere as the pilots engage the Queen, whose shield remains impenetrable. Patricia notices a pattern in the Queen's shield, realizing it weakens momentarily during attacks. She exploits this vulnerability, damaging the shield and leaving the Queen exposed. The Queen retaliates by targeting Patricia's jet, forcing her to eject with a parachute, narrowly escaping. As the Queen attempts to pursue Patricia, Dylan and his group return, launching a counterattack with their technology. Within the base, the aliens locate the sphere guarded by Oaken and Isaac, transmitting its location to their Queen. In a frantic battle, the Queen harnesses her hive's power to manipulate technology, creating a shield around herself. UTU and Floyd engage in combat at the isolation chamber, managing to defeat the aliens. But unfortunately, one alien strikes Isaac. As the fight intensifies, Oaken bids a heartfelt farewell to his beloved spouse. With only 2 minutes remaining, the Queen aggressively attacks the base, attempting to breach the roof and seize the sphere. Dylan coins the jet's protective formation as a tornado. Inspired, Jake initiates the manual thrusters, using the tornado's force to propel them out of the hive, just as the Queen infiltrates the base and seizes the sphere. The pilots regain control of the jets and unleash a barrage of fire at the Queen, forcing her out of her armor. As she tries to flee, David arrives just in time with the bus, preventing a collision. The Queen succumbs, collapsing and releasing the sphere. Similar to the First War, her demise halts the drilling and causes all alien ships to crash. Global celebrations erupt as the Mothership departs, and Oaken confirms the sphere's safety. Despite the triumph, David frets over Earth's vulnerability to future assaults. Oaken reassures him, revealing that the sphere possesses a training program on a shelter planet. He emphasizes humanity's next step, joining the intergalactic war for survival.